Go ahead.
Good morning. Good morning. It is another wonderful day to be in Colorado. This is the summer 2024 CDOT intern and fellow report out from the Colorado Department of Transportation. My name is Gary Vansuch. I am Director of Process Improvement here at CDOT, and I'm very honored to be hosting this session. Thank you, thank you, thank you for participating today. Jennifer, next.
Are you able to see it?
I'm able to see it. Jennifer, if you could scroll to the very top, please. And folks, thank you for being with us today. We have 10 wonderful interns that you're going to be hearing from in just a moment. A little bit before that, though. Jennifer, next. At CDOT, our mission, our important mission, is to provide the best multimodal transportation system for Colorado that most effectively and safely moves people, goods, and information. In order to have that very best multimodal transportation system, you absolutely need the very best people. And we are so fortunate at CDOT, we have those very best people. There are 3,100 people at over 200 staff locations in Colorado that are collectively called Team CDOT. Day in and day out, they are planning, building, operating, and maintaining the Colorado transportation system. On Team CDOT, we also employ interns and fellows, and they are making wonderful contributions to Colorado and to everyone who benefits from our Colorado transportation system. Next. So, why do we employ interns and fellows? CDOT and its predecessors have been serving Colorado and everyone who uses our fabulous transportation system since 1910. That's 114 years now. Team CDOT employs experts in transportation that provide that very best multimodal transportation system. And as the great Helen Hayes once noted, the expert at anything was once a beginner. Our interns and fellows are those beginners at the starts of their careers, working at CDOT side by side every day with seasoned experts, gaining hands-on knowledge and experience to become the experts of tomorrow. Next. Intern report outs are a tradition at CDOT. It's an opportunity for our interns to present to a larger audience about their experiences at CDOT. We have hosted CDOT intern report outs twice a year since starting them 11 years ago in August 2013. Next. During those 11 years, 203, yes, 203 people have served as interns and fellows and have participated in those report outs. We've had many more people serve as interns and fellows. 203 of them have provided report outs during these report out sessions. Next. Today, we are featuring 10 more people, interns and fellows currently at CDOT, who are adding to that grand tradition. Next. And I am so very pleased that we have a member of our CDOT executive team to kick things off today. I'm going to turn it over to Marcia Nelson, CDOT's Chief Equity Officer and a member of CDOT's executive management team. Marcia, over to you.
Good morning. Thank you, Gary. Good morning, everyone. Why don't you guys, I just want to make sure you guys are awake. So just raise your hand, do the little emoticon or whatever that is. So I know you guys are awake. A little handshake, whatever. Nobody's awake? Okay, I see hearts. Thank you, Amy. Hi, Matt, Alex. Good to see you guys. As mentioned, my name is Marcia Nelson. I'm the Chief Equity Officer here at CDOT, and I oversee, I can no longer say new, so I'm going to say the young office of Environmental Justice and Equity, which was born through Senate Bill 21260. If you've been at CDOT for a while, you've probably heard of this Senate bill, but that bill actually helped create this office, which really focuses around language access and how we look at equity and specifically transportation equity, I will say, and how do we create that transformation to ensure we're threading equity throughout the entire agency. So although a lot of our work is connected to the external, so the contractors and consultants that we work with, so think about small business opportunities, we also have to think about our internal staff, right? Ensuring that they have the resources to understand why we want to talk about equity, why we think about diversity and inclusion, and then also even workforce development. So what does that look like for our agency, but even bigger, what does that look like for the industry? I'm very passionate about workforce development and trying to think about how we create the next generation of transportation leaders. And I think this audience here is a great example of how not just CDOT, but many of the staff here really want to invest in creating the next generation. So thank you for being here. I look forward to hearing about all of your report outs and what you've been working on. And I also want to let you know that apparently Popeye's Chicken is also celebrating Internship Day. So you can get a free chicken sandwich if you go to Popeye's. I just read that today in the morning news.
Marsha, I read that also. Thank you for that wonderful kickoff.
Sure.
Jennifer, next. Many of you are participating via CDOT's YouTube channel, and that's a terrific technology to have. We are very glad to have you here today. At the end of the presentations, we'll have a question and answer session with the interns. If you are listening in via YouTube, and if you have questions or comments, or perhaps some compliments for our wonderful interns and fellows, please send those to Jamie Joy at the email address that you see here, jamie.joy@state.co.us. Again, that's jamie.joy@state.co.us, and we will repeat that email address later on. Next. As we mentioned earlier, we have report outs from 10 people in 6 different sessions today. It's going to start with a trio of people from the CDOT Office of Process Improvement. So Will, take it away. And Jennifer, next.
Okay, good morning. Just one more test, make sure folks can hear us. My name is Will Mitchell, and I'll be presenting the Office of Process Improvement intern team and handing it off through our interns for presentations. We're really happy to be presenting today, and let's talk about what we do. Next slide, please. So here in the Office of Process Improvement, we focus on trying to improve the way CDOTers work. And we're doing that through the Lean Everyday Ideas program and the Concept to Project programs, which helps build a culture of continuous improvement within the organization. And hopefully, it's the end state of this is to ensure that new ideas are valued, shared, and implemented across CDOT, making the whole organization better. And we do this through a couple of programs, one of which is our business improvement program, the Lean Everyday Ideas side of the house that I talked about, and change management, using change management best practices across the industry to help the organization facilitate, implement, and sustain changes. We support innovation and empowerment, helping individuals across CDOT from the ground level on up to put their ideas into place. And we provide strategy, service, consulting to various areas within CDOT to help them think through processes and programs and generate improvements. Next slide. As I mentioned, I'm Will Mitchell. I'll be followed after my presentation by Amy Resnick, who's a student at Northwestern University, and then Matthew McCarthy, another intern with us, and he's recently graduated from the University of Colorado at Boulder. And they'll introduce themselves a little more in detail when they come up. As for myself, next slide. I've been in Colorado for about 20 years. I arrived here in June of 2004 from Korea. And I'm currently a student at the University of Denver Daniels College of Business, where I'm trying to get a master's degree in business information analytics. I'll be graduating hopefully in November. Recently retired from 28 years in the military, recently from the Army National Guard. I have a pretty eclectic background from operations to finance, human resources, and recruiting, and other things. But I'm trying to find a new career to continue in public service, and this internship has been very helpful in understanding how state government works and helping to find a place for the future. My internship ends at the end of August, so I've been here a little over 7 months and getting ready to move on to new things. I've been married for almost 24 years. Lori and I have our 24-year anniversary this September, and I have two children. Triana, who's 17, she's starting her senior year in high school, and Xander is turning 14, not next week, but the week after that, and he's going into high school. So next slide. I'll talk about 4 projects that we've worked on. One of the things I've done is working on video production, improving the way that we create media for the organization to make it more engaging and more useful. Also did a training exchange program to integrate training programs between CDOT, Denver International Airport, and others, including the Colorado Department of Public Safety. I've worked with the Department of Defense Skill Bridge program to create a partnership. We'll talk about that. And also done a lot, like a lot of us have done a lot of website and document accessibility remediation. That's been another massive project. Next slide. So first, we realized in OPI that a lot of our videos were this talking head format, where you're watching a long video of people talking back and forth, not terribly engaging. We wanted to increase that so that we can help inspire and assist people with doing their innovations. So we did a project where we wanted to improve this overall lean everyday idea video content quality. And to do that, developed a communication strategy with Thessa Roy. She's currently over in Marcia's equity office, and she was an intern with us for a bit. And we put this communication strategy together, standardized the messaging, and produced a video production best practices guide that helps people develop and produce their own videos. That's something you can see on our sites, and that's something you could use in your own areas if you want to use that. And also produced 3 example lean everyday idea videos with enhanced video production quality and shorter, pithier messaging. And you can see the links on the bottom left of this screen will lead you to our Spotlight and Innovation page, where you can see those videos as well as previous videos and see the back and forth contrast. And also we produced a communications plan you can look at and share and use that in your own area to understand how to produce more effective media. Next slide. Another project I work on was trying to increase capacity. All these different organizations, we all have continuing education development programs that we do. And a lot of organizations like DIA, like the Department of Public Safety, as well as here in CDOT, we're doing a lot of the same things. And we realized that we could be a little more efficient if we work together and shared those training opportunities. And this is a program we put together to try to increase that exchange and make it easier to do and coordinate across multiple departments within Colorado, as well as across organizations to the city of Denver. And to do that, we created a internal Trello board for training management, kind of a process management software that we use in Trello. We developed some spreadsheets, some ways of tracking information across organizations, which is very challenging, especially when those organizations use different information systems platforms, either Google or Microsoft Teams, things like that. Specifically, we created a test coordination platform using Google Classroom, which works well within CDOT, but we found that was not terribly effective with Denver because they don't have Google accounts, and that became a limiting factor, and we had to step back from that a little bit. But it was a good experience to learn how to use it. And then we produced and hosted a test training event here at CDOT headquarters, where we brought in people from all over the state. We had people from the city of Denver, we had people from CDPS, we had people from here in CDOT that came together. And this, what you see on the right, is Rebecca Tate from Denver. She was facilitating the innovation training for employees all here. We had about 22 show up. We were originally trying to get more towards 50, but schedules being as they are, everybody had a great time, learned a lot of good things, collaborated, and we're going to try to continue to expand upon this process going forward. Next slide. Also trying to partner to increase the diversity at CDOT by increasing the number of veteran employees. And we're doing this through engaging with something called the Skill Bridge program, which brings veterans in who are in their last 180 days of their military service. And Colorado's CDOT's OPI has been approved for this, and we're beginning to put together the the foundation of this program, which is a whole bunch of onboarding processes and developing training plans and so forth to bring these individuals in where they can come in for about 12 weeks and use their experience while they're on active duty to work with industry to help contribute to CDOT, to get exposure to state government, understand how we work, and hopefully start applying for CDOT jobs once they understand how the organization is working and they've developed a better skill, civilian networking skill set. So that's kind of what this program is for. We've been working with Fort Carson, Peterson Space Force Base, Schriever, Buckley, and the United States Air Force Academy to try to bring Colorado veterans into CDOT. And we've developed on the right, you can see what some of our marketing materials look like. And we're currently collaborating with IT and HR to make sure we've got the foundation ready to bring these folks on when people show interest. So this is an ongoing project. Next slide. And last, like a lot of us, we're buried in website accessibility remediation, trying to improve the accessibility compliance for us. Here in OPI, we have over 499 process improvement pages and 19 concept to project pages. Huge amount of work. We remediated over 144 documents, everything from slides to spreadsheets to PDFs and so forth, using Grackle. And also, we were able to reduce our accessibility occurrences on our websites by 41% in the last couple of months, which is huge. Limiting factor is there's, for all of us, there's these common key issues that we can't resolve because of the way Google Sites is implemented, and those are pending Google Site team support. But this has been a massive project of going through on a regular basis, cleaning out web pages, learning how to do accessibility properly in various formats, and remediating those documents respectively. Next slide. I'll be followed by Amy Resnick. Amy, are you there?
Yes, thank you.
All right, all yours.
Perfect. So my name is Amy Resnick. I use she, her pronouns, and I am an incoming senior at Northwestern University studying social policy. I'm also very passionate about art history and got really close to finishing that degree, but couldn't quite fit it into a 3-year track. My long-term goals are to become a state legislator in Colorado. I really love policymaking and people, and that's been the real focus of my internship at the Office of Process Improvement during my time here. That is, I've really been working on the people side of change to try to make our processes better for every team CDOTer and all of our customers statewide. In my free time, I really love spending time with my dog. We go to the dog park 2 or 3 times a week. She has a lot of cute costumes. I also like embroidery, cooking, and I'm a very avid Rotarian, both in Colorado and where I go to school in Illinois. And you'll have to excuse any background noise from the dog. She is also very passionate about her internship in squirrel chasing, so she's a little vocal at times, and I am in the backyard. Next slide. So as I mentioned, my job at OPI is really around the people side of our change. So when I came into OPI, I took over the Lean Everyday Ideas Challenge, which is essentially a way for people to submit the best innovations they've made on their worksite and see their ideas amplified and replicated on a statewide scale, not only so that they receive recognition, but so that other people across the state can benefit from great ideas in other regions. And in that way, we can make our processes faster, safer, cheaper, whatever. So when I came onto the team, we had some good Lean Everyday ideas going into our 2024 Innovations Challenge and Showcase, which is, again, how we highlight those ideas. But we didn't quite have as many submissions as we would have liked. So initially, I set out to talk to people one-on-one, capture their great ideas, and bring them into our system so that they could be recognized and uplifted. So my first way that I approached this was through National Work Zone Awareness Week. We held booths based on our Lean Everyday Ideas Challenge in, I think, Region 1, Region 4, and HQ, and met with dozens of people there to really see how we can promote safety and see how innovation can also promote safety intrinsically. Next slide. Then I really just wanted to see how, like, before thinking through how I could really find more people to talk about their innovations and understand what they're doing, I needed to really be a part of the culture of CDOT and know how things operated on a maintenance scale, flagging scale, all the things you don't always see when you're sitting at a cubicle in HQ. To do this, I had a bunch of ride-alongs. They were very fun. You can see with me with Mike in Region 1 on the right. We took a day-long ride-along, and I got to see how he flags maintenance operations, how he mobilizes crews, all that stuff. I also went to the sign shop to see how they do things down at KOA. I was able to get a better understanding of the processes on the engineering side, and then also what it's like when people on the maintenance side come in and out of the work site and interact with each other on that more one-on-one scale. Next slide. Using this information, we went to several truck rodeos with booths that we felt would appeal to our target audience And that would really be a good way to capture ideas of things they are already doing, but might not have submitted to the Innovations Challenge yet. So Robert, Bell, and I went to rodeos in Eagle in Region 1 and KOA. We went to a few other rodeos, and we will be going to one in Cortez on August 7th. But this has really been our most effective outreach method in reaching people to discuss innovation. Next slide. Then just for fun, at one of those rodeos, Robert was like, would you want to see a helicopter mission? I was like, yeah, of course. So I got to go watch them removing the big corbels from the mountain and bringing them down, using the helicopter. It was pretty amazing. I've never seen anything like that. But I'd say that was one of those moments at CDOT where I was like, wow, this is a really special internship, which is an opportunity I won't really have anywhere else. And I really felt just grateful for the opportunity to, see these operations that we don't usually think about as an average citizen in Colorado. Next slide. On a similar note, a lot of our innovations have to do with snow plowing. And I'm going to be honest, I did not understand it at all before I came to CDOT. I just woke up and the roads were clear and I was like, this is amazing. I can get where I need to go. But in order to really accurately capture the innovations related to snow plowing, I got to go on a shadowing trip on the first day that they were plowing Mount Blue Sky to see their operations. It was crazy beautiful. It was really beautiful. We got there at like 5 a.m. Sun was rising. It was really majestic. And then considering how early we had woken up, I fell asleep in their truck for like 2 hours. And that was also really nice. Best nap of my life. Next slide. So then again, using all this information, we were able to host the Innovation Challenge, and that's been my primary task here. The other things that I do for that are I make idea cards to showcase innovations, which are the ones you can see on our website. Just now, we're finishing up judging of these ideas for the 2024 Innovations Challenge. And soon we'll be starting to host our showcases. And these will be small regional events in which people can come together, celebrate their peers, and vote for their favorite innovations on a people's choice scale. Really just build community and build some excitement around innovation. And then we will also be having our statewide innovations showcase sometime in mid-September. Finally, and most importantly, while I've been going out and doing all this outreach, there's been a lot of ideas from people on how they wish this program was slightly better or slightly different. So I've done a large stakeholdership process to see how we can improve this program in the long term. So this consisted about 12 to 15 stakeholder meetings and a survey. And using that data, I will be writing a comprehensive report for Gary and Jamie to go through so that they can see which recommendations fit in well with the program and hopefully make it a program that people are really excited about and really excited to participate in for the long-term future. Next slide. There's a few other smaller projects I've done. One is getting involved with Helping Hand. We are selling butter braids and coffee pots. You've probably seen this all over your building for like 100 days now, but you are still able to buy our butter braids, and the proceeds go to families at CDOT who just need a little helping hand at this time. And the butter braids will be coming in on August 14th. So that's just a fun fundraiser I've been able to do while I'm at CDOT. Next slide. Another project that was really fun was planning an intern visit to the Floyd Hill project. I think pretty much everyone on this call got to go. And that was another really great way for all of our interns to experience construction and maintenance firsthand. Next slide. And then the last project, which I'm really passionate about, is suicide prevention at CDOT. Construction and maintenance workers are 4 times more likely than the average citizen to die by suicide. I just think that's crazy. We haven't really focused on suicide prevention that much at CDOT in the past. And we have existing programs going on at CDPHE, such as Man Therapy, that can really effectively address suicide among this population. So I've been working with Gary to try to bring this into some regional safety discussions and then into some smaller wellness groups within the regions so that we can amplify its impact and hopefully reduce suicide on a statewide scale. Next slide. Coming up, I've also been trying to do some work on gender equity at CDOT, particularly surrounding availability of restrooms on work sites. And then we're doing some Gemba walks, which are essentially like ways for managers to walk alongside their team and see how things can be improved across Colorado. That's really it. I wrapped up my internship in like 55 days, not that anyone's counting, but I'm really going to miss CDOT, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity to have worked here over the last 6 months. So I'm going to pass it off to my amazing intern friend, Matthew.
Thank you, Amy. That was fantastic. Well, good morning, everyone. My name's Matthew McCarthy. I'm also a part of the Office of Process Improvement and have been an intern for just under 2 months. A little bit more about me. I am proudly South African, having grown up in Pietermaritzburg, South Africa until I was 16 years old, and then moved to Colorado to complete my secondary and tertiary education. I recently graduated from the Leeds School of Business at the University of Colorado Boulder with a degree in finance. And during my time at Leeds, I developed a keen interest in change management and project management, which I am eager to pursue as a career after this internship. So in my spare time, I enjoy playing rugby, which I've been very passionate about since childhood. I also actively support my university rugby team through CURL, our alumni association, which allows me to stay connected with the sport and my university, even though I'm not currently playing it. Now that you've learned a little bit more about me, next slide. My first key focus of the internship has been LinkedIn Learning. LinkedIn Learning is an online platform offering thousands of courses designed to boost professional skills, from technical skills like software development to soft skills like leadership and communication. This platform helps us by providing personalized learning experiences. It recommends courses based on your interests and career goals and offers certificates of completion that you can add to your LinkedIn profile. So through our SOC Learns portal, we have full access to LinkedIn Learning. The Office of Process Improvement is making the most of this resource, and we are going and watching through many hours of courses and creating custom playlists that are interesting and relevant, with the hope that these short, easily digestible videos will encourage everyone to learn not just in designated trainings, but a little bit every day. Next slide. Another focus of my internship has been working with the Office of Process Improvement and ProSci on change management training initiatives. I've been organizing and producing change management courses aimed at enhancing the practitioner's ability to manage the people side of change effectively. There are also plans to share our knowledge, like we'll say with a training exchange of how to facilitate these courses with other agencies. As a result, I've been developing universal process documentation to support future class expansions. This documentation ensures consistency and quality across all trainings for all agencies. Furthermore, I've been improving our production and assistance by incorporating reviews and feedback from participants, as well as feedback from facilitators to make the courses flow more smoothly. Next slide. And finally, last week, I organized an excursion to the Colorado Traffic Management Center in Golden, Colorado, where we learned how they monitor public roadways and toll roads using advanced systems like electronic signboards, fiber optic cables, and pavement sensors. We also explored the Colorado Trip app, which provides real-time road condition updates. This experience, I mean, it was incredibly informative and gave us all a behind-the-scenes look at their work. It was actually so phenomenal. I plan on taking up their offer and going on a ride along in the coming months to learn a bit more. Next slide. And thank you all for listening. Here are just a couple more things that I have going on that I'm looking forward to tackling on the rest of my internship, as well as things that I haven't even seen yet. Next slide. So before I wrap up, we as process improvement interns want to extend a special thank you to our mentors, Gary Vansuch, Michelle Malloy, and Jamie Joy. Your guidance and coaching have made an immeasurable impact on our professional growth and development. Your dedication to mentoring has provided us with valuable insights and skills that we will carry forward into our careers. It's no wonder why everyone loves working with you. Your passion, expertise, and unwavering support have been truly inspiring. So thank you very much, Gary, Michelle, and Jamie. Next slide, please. And finally, if you saw something that interested you with us today and would like to learn more, please feel free to reach out. And if you just want to connect, you can use the QR codes on the slide to visit our LinkedIn profiles directly. Will Mitchell, Amy Resnick, and myself, Matthew McCarthy, are all here to help and engage with you. We appreciate your time and attention. Thank you. Now it's over to Whitney Roberts from Region 1 District.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Matthew, for that introduction. And also just thank you to the OPI interns for all of the wonderful events and excursions that you put on for us. Those excursions to Floyd Hill and to the traffic control management were definitely highlights of my internship. Anyway, hello, everyone. My name is Whitney Roberts. I'm the Region 1 History Intern. CDOT employs historians to satisfy the history compliance required under the National Environmental Policy Act, specifically through the National Historic Preservation Act. Our job is to make sure historic resources are not affected by incoming transportation projects. And during my 9 months here, I've completed several projects and gained essential experience for my career. So, who is Whitney Roberts? I was born and raised in Amarillo, Texas, and in 2020, I moved to Colorado to pursue my master's degree in public history, which I received in May of 2023. Before that, in Texas, I completed my bachelor's degree in history. And all of this training led me to my current position as the Region 1 History Intern. But in my free time, I also enjoy painting, gardening, and writing. Next slide, please. So during my time as the Region 1 History Intern, I had an opportunity to complete several different kinds of projects. First, I completed historic surveys for 3 CDOT projects. Those include the Federal Boulevard BRT project, the Kings Valley Interchange project, and a historic resource survey of the Burnham Shops. In addition, I completed history clearance for 4 CDOT permits, including a regional trail connection, a parcel disposal project, a sewer line installation, and a tank storage project. On top of that, I also set up and ran the history booth at Bring Your Child to Work Day and completed entry maintenance of the historic sites inventory, which is a GIS application that is used by many of our consulting parties. Next slide, please. I'm happy to say that I have gathered several accomplishments during my time at CDOT. I've completed 9 distinct Office of Archaeology and Historic Preservation survey forms, which include field visits, field photography, historic narratives, significant statements, and architectural descriptions of the resources in question. I also taught myself how to use ArcGIS Pro. It's an application that I was very much not familiar with before I started this internship, and I received a lot of guidance from my mentors and feel very confident in that program now. In addition, I received a CDOT certification of completion of the training in the National Environmental Policy Act, which is definitely a huge stepping stone for me in my career because I didn't have that experience beforehand. And then finally, I've accomplished successful execution of the Section 106 clearance process for permits. So now I can say that I have experience in Section 106 history compliance. This is going to be crucial in progressing in my career. Next slide, please. So a couple key takeaways from this experience and some skills I acquired include the importance of internships. This internship has pushed me much farther along in my career than any other job that I could have started out in. So this has been a wonderful experience. In addition to that, the importance of good mentors has really shown up a lot to me through this experience. The mentors that I've had here at CDOT have been so valuable in helping me understand the meaning of this work and understanding this industry that I'm getting into. I've also learned that transportation projects require a lot of interdisciplinary collaboration. I've had the opportunity to meet so many different people from so many different fields. And then I also learned the rich history of transportation in Colorado. The way that our transportation system has moved people across the state has been integral to the historic story of the state. And a couple skills that I acquired during this internship include cartography and data management in ArcGIS Pro. I honed in my technical history writing skills. I now can say that I have some proficiency in Section 106 of the National Historic Preservation Act, and I've learned the best practices for surveying historic resources. Next slide, please. If you'd like to get in touch with me, you can reach me at my state email right here, which I will have until the end of August. But other than that, you're free to jot down my personal email right here if you want to get in touch afterwards. All right, thank you so much. And now I'm going to hand it over to Robin with the Division of Transportation Development.
Hi, I'm Robin, and I, since January, have been interning in the multimodal planning branch. Next slide, please. I'm originally from New York City, and my educational background is I graduated with a bachelor's of political science from Cornell, and since last year, I've been getting my master's of the environment at CU Boulder, and I'm concentrating in urban resilience and sustainability. My professional background is predominantly finance. I worked in ESG research for about 2 years before deciding to pivot directly to sustainability. I'm interested in thriving and walkable urban cores, climate resilience, and my internship at CDOT has really been focused on the intersection between those two. Next slide, please. So my first major project has been looking at climate resilience and integrating climate resilience and more broadly resilience into the 2050 statewide planning effort. Every 4 to 5 years, multimodal planning embarks on a planning effort for 25 years out. And thinking that, 2050 will be much more impacted by climate change than 2024 is, we need a plan for that. And that is difficult to plan for because climate change is inherently somewhat unpredictable. So I'm going to be conducting research on integrating climate resilience into the long-range plan. Key steps in this include identifying existing gaps in CDOT resilience planning, identifying opportunities for integration, and most importantly, interviewing key staff across CDOT in order to assess organizational awareness of resilience and how we can improve it going forward. Next slide, please. So as I mentioned, one of my main deliverables is interviews with CDOT staff. Thus far, I've interviewed about 8 people spanning the reach of CDOT from asset management to transit planning to land use, and I have a few more scheduled as well. And my findings will be summarized in a report that summarizes organizational awareness, how well people have been using the existing resources, what further resources can be developed, and most importantly, how can long-range planning aid that? I will also be giving a technical memo that describes the current planning and implementation gaps and recommendations along those lines as well. And I will be drafting text for the 2050 statewide plan that will enhance the integration of resilience into long-range planning and across different topical areas. One of my main goals is to think about resilience more holistically. The current line of thinking is that our roads face these kinds of hazards. What I want to do is look at resilience as something much more broader than that. So not only what kind of hazards does CDOT face to our road system, but beyond that, to perhaps active transportation, to transit, to how we aid tourism and recreation. And also flipping that, not only what risks do we face, but how can CDOT actually help community resilience? So next slide. If you work at CDOT, I would love it if you could recommend potential interviewees to me, even if resilience is not an explicit part of your work. Anyone who engages in planning, design, stakeholder engagement would be really useful for me. Any resources related to resilience within your area of practice as well, incredibly useful. And finally, please let me know if you would like to be included in the distribution of my final deliverables. Next slide. So moving on from climate resilience, I have been helping out with the active transportation plan update. Specifically, I've created a survey for the active transportation plan update that assesses people's frequency and purpose of trips, comfort on various facilities. So for example, do you as a biker feel comfortable on the shoulder of a road? Do you really only want to ever bike on a multi-use path fully separated from cars? What are your barriers to walking and biking as transportation? And what are CDOT's opportunities to improve active transportation? We have gotten feedback all over the state, and over 2,000 people as of this morning have responded to this survey. This has been a really fantastic opportunity for me to really engage and tap into the Colorado community of biking and walking and see how can CDOT play a critical role in improving the landscape. Next slide, please. Concurrently with this, I have been supporting the 2050 statewide plan development even beyond my resilience project. So I've been in progress of making a survey for the 2050 statewide plan. I've comprehensively reviewed all other state DOT practices for survey content. Just a little fun fact, we're a nationwide leader in having a current statewide plan. Some DOTs have not updated their long-range plan since 2008. And in fact, very few state DOTs actually engage with their population through a survey. So go CDOT for being a nationwide leader in many things, and including public engagement. I've also helped with prepping materials for public engagement, and I will be attending transportation planning region meetings in the future. And I've been assisting with the project management of the statewide planning process. Next slide, please. So some of my other projects over the last 6 months have included participating in the One Grants project. The One Grants project aims to improve and streamline CDOT's grant-making process from being across many different divisions to having one synchronized process. I have been doing research on this. I've created a survey to distribute to our stakeholders, and I've been participating in stakeholder interviews. Additionally, in May, I attended and helped out with the Colorado Byway Symposium, which saw over 80 attendees in Alamosa, Colorado. I helped out with the pre-planning portion and the marketing and the day of support. And additionally, I've helped out with many different planning tasks, including GIS mapping and accessibility, taking notes on transportation commission meetings and statewide transportation advisory committee meetings, and editing our documents distributed to the public. Next slide. So I will be wrapping up my internship in October, and after that, I will start a transportation planning internship at the City of Boulder. I'm really excited to bring my statewide transportation planning knowledge to local transportation projects right where I live, which is very exciting for me. I'm finishing my master's degree up next summer, and I'm hoping to work in the transportation planning, land use, climate resilience space afterwards. And finally, just a huge thank you to everyone in multimodal planning for giving me the opportunity to engage with really interesting and impactful projects. I have really enjoyed being a civil servant, and I'm excited to continue that. Thank you. And I will be passing it on to Wash, who is also an intern for the Division of Transportation Development.
Thank you, Robin. Yes, I'm Washington Moore. I just go by Wash. I'm a librarian intern with the Colorado Department of Transportation's research branch. I'm a recent relocator to Denver, Colorado. I was born and raised in Alabama. That's a little bit of background about me. I just graduated with my bachelor's in public history, and I'm pursuing a master's in library and information studies. I have a background in history, archival studies, and digital humanities, about 4 years of professional experience from the Alabama Digital Humanities Center and various internships that preceded this. And that is the experience I'm bringing forward to CDOT now. Next slide, please. So I started at CDOT just last month, June 10th, and I was thrown directly into our kind of reassembling of our research reports, our websites, our web content to match WCAG deadlines, the web accessibility deadlines set forth by the state of Colorado. We had a deadline of July 1st, so it was a lot of work making sure that our platforms such as EOS, our catalog software, and LibGuides, which we use for content curation, were kind of in line with those deadlines. Using a lot of accessibility checkers and other technology, we were able to kind of create this new appearance, meeting both brand guidelines and WCAG deadlines with CSS and HTML. This was kind of the product of that. And we can now feel more confident knowing that these websites are more accessible for our public, as well as our research team and other members of CDOT. Thank you. Next slide, please. So one of the major projects that I'm overtaking in my next month of my internship is our research report overhaul. This is a very large project, and it's one that contains over 1,200 research reports that are in need of revisiting to kind of improve their accessibility towards the public and our research team and stakeholders in these projects. So this is really beginning with EOS, our library catalog software that I mentioned before, and several issues that we've had with the accessibility there, meaning that a lot of the records are either cloned or missing links to the reports. There's some issues with the metadata not being standardized. And so this process has kind of resulted in me taking a step back and deciding that we're going to have to kind of redo everything in a way, starting with introducing this new workflow that I've created on the right, to address the problems that you can kind of see at the bottom there with the not matching information, the cloned information, being a little misleading for people who are trying to access the library catalog. This project is a very large project, but it is one that I'm hoping will address all of these problems across the board and make it much easier for people to find these reports in our catalog going forward. Next slide, please. Another project that I've started and I'm very excited about at the CDOT Library is our What's New at the CDOT Library LibGuide. This will kind of introduce new monthly acquisitions, publications within our research branch, such as research reports, but also books that we've acquired and are available for checkout for people who are visiting the library. The library is open to both the public and to CDOT employees across all regions. So it is very important that all of us have access to what we have added to the library. And we didn't have a way to showcase that prior to this. So it was really exciting to be able to introduce a way to share those new items that we have with the entirety of CDOT and beyond. This will act as both a way to share our publications, but also information about our events of the past month. And eventually, we are hoping to introduce a calendar system that will allow people to anticipate upcoming events and learn about what they might do to participate. And it's going to hopefully act as a segue of introducing CDOT at large to the features of the library and the ways that they can interact with what we're doing over here. Next slide, please. Since I'm only a month into my internship, I do not have much more I can share about what I have accomplished, but I have been able to gain a lot of helpful experience with library systems, ILS, as well as data management and maintenance. I've been able to have really amazing experiences collaborating with the researchers of the research branch who are looking to share this extensive portfolio of work that they've been accomplishing over the span of many years, if not decades, and be able to share that with the public, be able to engage with them about what that work is doing, how we can best approach making that visible. And it's been a very exciting process for me. And I'm really excited to continue to engage with that over the next 8 months of my internship. Additionally, on top of this, I would like to kind of introduce the ability to have digital projects and exhibits in the CDOT library. And I hope that this will connect with other members and branches of CDOT and share their work that they are doing, which too is research, even though maybe people are not thinking about that in the same way. I would really like for people to start thinking about the work that they are doing as research and as a part of the research that we are doing at CDOT as a whole. And being able to share that work through an online or digital format, or maybe even a physical format through an exhibit, would be very fruitful, I think, for everybody involved and everybody who visits the library, as well as the people who create it. And I hope to kind of start with that, with the scenic byway posters that we've created over our time at CDOT, and be able to collect those and showcase them across many decades of their creation and really promote the work that those who are participating in scenic byways get to do, and the exciting imagery and tourist attractions that they are constantly working on and engaging with. And bringing that into the library would be a very exciting experience. And it's only the beginning. I really hope to extend this to more people and more branches as I continue to work with CDOT. This is really an exciting opportunity for the library to engage with everybody and not just the research branch, and be able to showcase the work that they're doing as well. Thank you. Next slide, please. That is all that I have to share for now, though, as I do have 8 more months, I am going to be updating other avenues to be able to showcase the work that I'll be doing in the future. You can view my LinkedIn here if that would be an interest to you. You can also contact me if you have any questions or interest in what we're doing at the library using my State of Colorado email, or you can contact me about my own work that I do outside of CDOT using my personal email as well. This has been a really exciting experience, and I hope that you've learned a little more about what we're doing at the CDOT library. Thank you so much. And now I'm going to be introducing Alex, who is our next intern reporting out.
Thanks, Wash. My name is Alex Zega. I use she, her pronouns. and I am currently an intern in the Division of Transit and Rail here at CDOT with the Passenger Rail Branch. A little bit about me, I am currently an incoming third year at Colorado State University. I am studying civil engineering, but I also have a background in public policy, so I'm interested in everything related to public transit and transportation and how we can improve it. I wish I had known that there could be pet photos in the slides because I'm currently fostering 3 kittens, so it's a very lively house right now, but that's me. And let's get started. Next slide, please. So today I'll be talking about a little bit about everything I've been working on this summer. I'm a pretty new intern. I just started in May, so I've still got some time ahead of me, but I've been working on a couple of different projects and I'm really excited to share them. Next slide, please. So Front Range Passenger Rail, if you don't know, is a new project that is planning to bring passenger rail to the Front Range, specifically from Fort Collins to Pueblo, with possible future extensions to Trinidad, south to New Mexico, and north to Wyoming. It is currently in the service development plan stages. That includes station area planning, so looking at, we've already chosen the cities that it's going to stop at, and now looking at where exactly the stations are going to be built, looking at possible transit connections, what's best for all the individual communities, looking at possible future infill stations that would happen after service has already begun, looking at frequency, speed, transit connections, who the service provider may be, as well as an implementation timeline. Funding has recently been secured through some bills through the state legislature, which is really exciting, and it's just been a really exciting time for passenger rail. Next slide, please. Mountain Rail is an even newer project that's looking to bring passenger rail between Denver and Craig, with stops in Arvada, Winter Park, Hot Sulphur Springs, Fraser, Granby, Kremling, Steamboat, and Hayden. That would bring passenger rail to all of these small towns in rural Colorado. It would run a similar but not the same route as the Amtrak California Zephyr. The Amtrak runs through the Rockies with fewer stops. It mostly serves as an incredibly scenic byway. It's a gorgeous trip. The passenger rail on Mountain Rail would focus a lot more on bringing passenger rail to a lot of these rural towns that don't have a lot of traffic otherwise. It is currently in the service options analysis stage, so a lot earlier than Front Range Passenger Rail, but we're working on an implementation timeline, some preliminary stationary analysis, and evaluation. Next slide, please. My primary focus this summer has been the train camera data collection project. So this is using game cameras to gather data on train routes and timings through the Rockies. The first photos were taken in April 2024, and we now have over 1,000 data points on various freight and passenger trains about their timings, their locations, their cargo, all through the Rockies, which is definitely a boon to the advancement of a passenger rail plan for the mountains. It's given us the ability to actually predict timings for trains. So for example, is the Zephyr late today? Where is it supposed to be at any specific time? And that is something that we've never had before and has been really useful in planning future timetables and schedules and everything like that. And it's also given us some incredible data on freight cargo and how often different materials are moving between Colorado, Utah, and Wyoming. Next slide, please. So earlier this summer, I got the opportunity to go do some field work out in the mountains, which was amazing. We installed some new cameras in late May 2024. We added 2 cameras each at Dotsero, Hayden, and Phippsburg. So now we're able to get a little bit more data on trains that are out in the west of the state, as well as information about which trains are going into the siding versus passing. And then on that trip, we were able to meet with some fire chiefs from Hot Sulphur Springs in Granby County about hazmat safety and rescue efforts in Byers Canyon, Colorado, which is definitely necessary because as more trains are moving through that area, there is definitely a possibility that medical emergencies or other emergencies could occur. And since these towns are relatively small, the fire departments don't necessarily have the resources they need to be able to conduct rescue efforts on the scale that they might need to if there is multiple times daily passenger rail moving through the area. So that was an incredible meeting that I was able to sit in on. It was very informative, and I think everybody. Next slide, please. Here are some fun captures we've gotten from the cameras. We've seen lots of cows on the top left and right hand photos. Also lots of deer. and a little bird in the bottom. The next slide, please. And these are some pretty cool locomotives that we've been able to see. So the freight railroads have some old and historical locomotives that have been pretty cool. You can see a Canadian Pacific. It's a little harder to see since the photo's taken at night in the bottom. The Union Pacific Support Our Troops locomotive on the left-hand side, as well as another Union Pacific special locomotive on the right. Next slide, please. I've learned so much so far this summer thanks to the amazing folks in Division of Transit and Rail. So thank you so much for helping me learn and welcoming me to the department. It's been absolutely amazing, and I look forward to what's next for me. Next slide, please. Feel free to reach out with any questions. Thank you so much for listening to me today, and I'd like to hand it off to Ritesh with engineering.
Thanks, Alex. So I'm Ritesh Sanpure, currently pursuing my master's in construction engineering and management at University of Colorado, Denver. I came to US in August 2023 for my master's. I have a bachelor's in civil engineering with honors in metro construction. I started working at CDOT this June in bridge staff. I have been working as a field engineer intern at Tata Projects. I was involved in an underground metro construction project where I gained knowledge of the new Austrian tunneling method, diaphragm wall, construction, drilling and blasting, and as well as many other construction activities. I hold a state public work department license in India and have been taking government contracts. After coming to US, my first job was as a teaching assistant for courses like advanced project management and construction materials and methods, where I taught around 80 students. Next slide, please. Staff Bridge. So Staff Bridge is the department in CDOT that looks after all the bridges. There are around 8,000 bridge structures in Colorado, of which approximately 3,500 major structures, such as bridges and culverts, are owned by CDOT. After surface treatment, the most expensive and second most valuable asset that CDOT owns are the bridges. Depending on the calculation, CDOT's bridges are worth between 8.4 and $33.5 billion. CDOT programs an average of 30 million per year to maintain the statewide bridge assets. Staff Bridge is responsible for the entire life cycle of the bridges. There are total 5 units in Staff Bridge: design unit, fabrication and construction unit, inspection unit, load rating, and asset management unit. We are working in asset management unit. We document and evaluate structure information, generate reports, and plan for allocating department programs. We also report the inventory and conditions to federal agencies and ensure adherence to updated federal guidelines and standards. Next slide, please. The National Bridge Inventory is a database compiled by the Federal Highway Administration that contains information on bridges and tunnels in the United States. So Federal Highway Administration mandates SNIBI updates, which is specifications for the National Bridge Inventory updates. And CDOT will be required to report all this SNIBI data on the 8,000 bridges by March 2028. Approximately half of this data is due in March 2026. Our role is to read the structural plan set and collect data, including span type and material, deck interaction, deck material, foundation type, substructure type, and other relevant details. We will report this data to the FHWA. Inspection sketch, next slide, please. Inspection sketches, so they are used by inspectors on site for the reference of the structures. The inspection sketches include plan view, typical section, and elevation, which gives general idea about the type of girder, pier, and abutment footing. Inspection sketches helps to save a lot of time, as we don't need to go through the structural plan set to get the details of the small things. Many structures have hand-drawn inspection sketches, some including unclear or outdated information. So our role has to take those structures and create updated digital sketches using MicroStation. MicroStation is the computer-aided design software. Next slide, please.
So myself, Deepna, I'm currently pursuing a Master's of Data Analytics Engineering from Northeastern University, Boston. So I have started working with CDOT with the staff bridge engineering team from June onwards. I'm basically from Pondicherry, a beautiful tourist city in southern part of India. So a little background about myself. So most of my experiences are behind data engineering projects. So I have around 9 years of work experience in database, ETL pipelines, MS-based tools, database designing, and data visualization. And throughout my work experience, I worked with Cognizant, Capgemini, and I also collaborated with healthcare, insurance, and banking related clients. So this is little about myself. Next slide, please. So SIMSA it's basically a web application which stores structures and their concerned inspection details and also the structure locations where it is located. So it would be much helpful for the asset managers and inspectors to make their work much easier, like they can go and check every inspection details and the related documents or photos in detail. So all the concerned fields and their related data are partially monitored by database, which is basically a SQL server, and it is supported by SSMS in the background. So in order to become familiar with SIMSA fields, I have got user acceptance testing task where I checked basic application functionalities like loading screen, inspection manager checking, and structural manager, and the documents upload and photo upload and ratings and vertical clearances. In the upcoming days, my task will be behind the database and where I am supposed to do works like data inspections, schema related changes, and that would be helpful for SIMS operations. Also, I'll be working on reports generation task using Power BI software. Next slide, please. Yeah, I need to highlight few technical skills that we have learned during our internship program over here. So as a part of SNIBI data collection process, we became much familiar, and also we have got enough training from our mentors in plan reading exercises, and all are related to the bridges. And we have also learned bridges related technologies like abutments, piers, reinforcement concrete, foundations, and the concerned materials, and girders and spans, and a lot of bridge related stuff. On the other side, we have also got good amount of exposure to work with SIMS applications and their related fields and the way how it is designed. It would be much exciting for us to visualize bridges later data in database side, and it would be fun to learn more about them through operations like data updates, inspections, and report generations. I'm ending up here, and I'm going to give the presentation to Leron. Next slide, please.
So hi, I'm Leron. I'm an incoming junior at CU Boulder, where I'm studying civil engineering. I'm originally from Israel, but I've been living in Colorado for about 12 years now. I started this internship here in May, and through my degree and through this internship, I hope to keep pursuing the field of transportation and infrastructure. Next slide, please. So I've worked with the PIDB, the Project Information Database, which contains information about new structures and about what work has been done on existing structures to preserve, repair, or replace them. This is critical for asset management. By being able to compile and analyze this information in the database, we'll be able to have insight on treatment costs, frequency, and efficacy, which will be highly valuable for project decision-making going forward in any step, anywhere from design to construction to maintenance. So my role has been to look at plan sets of recent projects and determine what treatments have been done, what elements of the bridge have been worked on, and associate that with the cost data of the materials used that is submitted to StaffBridge. I also perform queries. I also perform queries on the database using SQL or SQL, which is a structured query language, in order to update the database with older projects that predate the PIDB. Next slide. So the inspections program is a major part of StaffBridge. Most bridges are inspected every 2 years. So inspectors will go out and look at the different elements of the bridge, like the deck, the piers, and so on, and assess their condition. They will write any observations and measurements into reports and give numerical ratings to the different elements to describe their condition. And with that, they can then give any recommendations for work that may need to be done. So I assisted in a few Region 1 inspections where I got to see the different elements up close, including the insides of some bridges, and learn about what inspectors look for to spot any possible issues. Next slide. So we're looking forward to all the projects that we have coming down the line also, but these are some of our takeaways so far. Working with asset management, we've really gotten to see how data and documentation lead to better decision-making and progress by being able to quantitatively look at what has gone well in the past and what hasn't gone well and learn from that. It's also just been interesting to see what CDOT is in charge of and how different groups like consultants or contractors interact with the different CDOT teams. Lastly, we worked on some of these projects together, and we also got to work with units outside of asset management. And through that, we really got to see how the different facets of projects and programs work together throughout the entire bridge lifecycle, whether that's within a team, between different teams, and also externally outside of CDOT. And it really emphasized the importance of teamwork and collaboration. That is it for us. I'm going to hand it back to Gary Vansuch.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, interns. Those were wonderful, wonderful report outs. Many of you know that we always try to support the home team here in Colorado. You can see that I have my lucky Colorado Rockies tie on this morning. We support the Rockies. We support all the teams that are wonderful here in Colorado. And the most important team that I'm part of is our home team here at CDOT, Team CDOT. Team CDOT's the 3,100 people at CDOT who are at 200 different staff locations across Colorado who plan, build, operate, and maintain the Colorado transportation system. That home team, of course, includes interns and fellows. As part of our work to support interns and fellows, we have wonderful mentorship for them. Jen, next. As the great Steven Spielberg once noted, the delicate balance of mentoring someone is not creating them in your own image, but giving them the opportunity to create themselves. CDOT has fabulous mentors that are helping our interns create themselves, create their own careers, help them become those experts of the future that we are going to depend upon in the transportation sector. I'd like to recognize those mentors today, people who have been identified as outstanding mentors by our interns and fellows themselves. Jen, next. These folks have been nominated. I want to read out their names for the record and add my thanks to all of them for having wonderful mentorship for the interns that you've heard from, and actually from some interns you haven't heard from who could not report out today. In our Denver Metro Central Colorado region, it's often known as Region 1 here in CDOT, Barbara Stocklin, Jamie Shapiro, Jordan Rudell, and Danny Herman. In the Division of Transportation Development, also known as DTD here within CDOT, Darius Pakraz, Sarah Zepeda, Christian Salamak, Kathleen Collins, Aaron Willis, and Annalise Von Bovo. In the Division of Engineering, Natasha Butler, Jessica Martinez, Berkeley Williams, and Greg Marcuson. In the Office of Innovative Mobility, often known as OIM, David Singer, Chris Enright, Cody Hedges, Jeff Dawson, Alex Funderburg, and Desiree Scott. And in the Office of Process Improvement, Michelle Malloy, Jamie Joy, and I'm very honored that our interns have nominated me also. Thank you, thank you, thank you to all of our mentors. Thank you for helping us with our wonderful internship program here at CDOT. Folks, Jennifer, next. And for everyone listening in today, I am very pleased to announce that today, which is National Intern Day, CDOT's internship program was named as one of the 10 best programs by the Employ Humanity Organization. We are grateful and excited for the recognition of the program and of the interns and the mentors who are the real powerhouses behind that program. Thank you to everyone who's made this a terrific internship program. Jennifer, next. And we are to the question and answer session of our intern report out today. For those of you that are live streaming, if you have questions or comments, Compliments are always welcome, by the way. Compliments for our interns. You can send those in to jamie.joy@state.co.us. That's jamie.joy@state.co.us. And we have some folks in our production of Zoom today who may also be asking questions. So I encourage those of you on Zoom today to unmute and to ask some questions and again, provide some compliments. I thought I might kick it off myself. I would like to ask interns, any of them that want to unmute, to say, what is the top thing that you would recommend to any intern coming into CDOT? You'll be succeeded by other folks. Again, you're adding your voices to the 203 in the past that have been providing intern report outs. And whether it's for the intern report out or for their internships themselves, what's the top piece of advice you have for incoming interns? Anybody want to handle that? Any of our interns? And do be sure to unmute.
Yeah, I can answer that question. Yeah, so advice for incoming interns, I would say just be ready to meet as many people as possible and just engage and show up in everything that is offered to you at the internship, because you never know when something is going to be an experience builder for you.
That's great. Thank you, Whitney. Anybody else want to take a run at that?
I would just add to be proactive and eager for projects. Many of my most rewarding projects are ones that I had suggested myself and workshopped with my coworkers. So I really recommend, just if you see something that interests you, go in and take that as a project.
Great. Thanks. Appreciate that, Robin. Anybody else want to take a run at that one? Marcia, you've got your hand up.
Yeah, I'm not going to add to that, but I have to hop off to another meeting. But before I do so, I just had a few comments. One, and first and foremost, I wanted to say thanks everyone for your presentations. I even learned a lot myself, so I appreciate this. I'm trying to process all the names and what you guys did. I wrote a couple notes, but I think is it William or Will? You were the first one to present. Wanted to say to you, apparently today is Happy Hire of Veterans Day today too. So we need to find you a job and hire you as well as a veteran. Thanks for your service. And you said you came from Korea or you were living in Korea. 한국말 You speak Korean? Did he hop off the call?
I think Will's still on. Will, I know that you speak many languages.
미안해요. 한국말 못합니다.
못해요. 괜찮아. 우리 엄마가 한국 사람이에요. You understand a little? I'm half Korean. My mother's Korean.
Yes,
so that's why I was like, oh, okay.
Just a little. Just not say 한국 음식 먹고 싶어요. Things like that.
Oh, we'll have to get you some Korean food while we're out here. There's a spot down the street, actually.
I live in the Mecca off of Parker and 225. We've got a whole Korean district down here if you're familiar.
Oh yeah, I'm very familiar. That's my hood over there. So very much. Amy, you presented, I think you mentioned the work you're doing around suicide prevention. That is very true and not something that I think a lot of people know. And I know from personal experience, having started in the construction industry, unfortunately, I have experienced a few suicide deaths of construction staff, both professional and field. So that was a very interesting thing to hear from you. So I'd love to hear more about what you found and what you want to do as you continue with CDOT as well. Matt from South Africa, I will say I was able to find an amazing deal, and that was one of the best vacations I've ever had in South Africa. That was maybe 5 years ago or so. So I'll definitely need to talk to you, and I plan on going back. So I want to get some recommendations on where to go. But you mentioned LinkedIn Learning. Would love to hear more about that because I know LinkedIn Learning has quite a bit of stuff around the EDI space, and see if that's something that could help my office and in turn help our agency as well. So that would be great. Jamie, the fact that you would teach yourself ArcGIS, that blows my mind. I'm still trying to teach myself how to navigate Google. So kudos to you for doing all of that. You know, Robin, I think you mentioned a lot of work around, I heard resilience a lot in your presentation. And I think maybe you were working with some of the asset management performance team on that. But I would love to speak to you around resilience and equity. What does that look like? So whenever you get some time, feel free to reach out to me and we can schedule some time to meet. And then Wash, you're from Alabama. I used to live in Huntsville, Alabama. I don't know where you're from, but
Very
I live
close.
in
Yeah,
Huntsville.
I was
Yeah.
from the Decatur area, Hartselle, so about
Okay.
30 minutes away from you.
Yep, my dad was stationed in the Army, so we were stationed at Redstone Arsenal in Huntsville, Alabama. One of my best friends lives there, so I was just there last year, and it has changed a lot. So cool. And then you said you're working in the library. You're working on something around calendar events so that I think what I heard is that everyone would be aware of what's happening and they could participate. We definitely have a lot of things happening in our office that I would love to share on this calendar that's being made or you know, developed that I would love for CDOT staff to be well aware of and participate if they wish to. And then Alex, kittens are beautiful, but I'm allergic, so I don't know how you're fostering 3 of them. That's amazing. And then you mentioned some stuff around visiting with some fire chiefs. I'm going to guess it was kind of in the rural area, and you mentioned how, you know, they don't have necessarily the resources to be able to do some of these rescues. And that's exactly some of the stuff when we think about equity, right? It's about providing the resources to those who need it the most. And in the rural area, it looks very different from the urban areas. And so things like that are things that trigger me to think, you know, how do we help our partners? Because the fire chiefs and what they do directly ties to transportation and our rail service and system. So, you know, how are there ways that we can not just help them, maybe not directly, but their counties, the local municipality over there with things in that nature. And then Ritesh, I think I saw on your part you're studying for metro construction. What does that mean? What specialty in construction is that? I might have read that wrong.
I have done my bachelor's in civil engineering with the honors in metro construction.
Okay, I've just never heard of metro. I'm sorry, but
Yeah,
what
so
exactly does it mean?
they taught us like everything about the tunneling and the pier construction of the metro, both the elevated and the underground metros.
Oh, very cool. Okay, I didn't know that. Thank you for letting me know. And then Dipana, oh, I'm saying that wrong. I know you are doing a lot around data analytics and
Yeah.
just for a personal, because I am not a data person, I'd love to sit with you and, you know, maybe you can rub some of that data passion off to me. In my space, you know, well, in engineering, we do a lot of quantitative data. In my space, we really look at qualitative data. And I'm trying to figure out some unique ways. How do we use both sets of data when we come to transportation decisions, quantitative and qualitative? How do we start doing that as an agency? So maybe there's an opportunity for me to pick your brain as well. And then Liron, did I say that wrong? Right?
No, that was good.
Liron, okay. Unfortunately, Liron, I totally got distracted by a message that came in. Tell me where you're from and what school you're going to.
I'm originally
Or what you
originally
had
from
in the presentation.
Israel, but I've been here for a while and I'm studying civil engineering at Boulder.
Oh, very good. Okay. Boulder was my rival. I went to School of Mines. We used to rival with them all the time. So, okay. And you're also on the bridge side. So that's very awesome. And I think what I heard from at the very end, you know, you were talking about some of the takeaways. And one of the things that you saw that I think you noted as interesting to you was how all of the parts and pieces come together, like how we engage with contractors and consultants in the different offices and divisions. And that's a huge thing. I always say that collaboration, I say communication plus collaboration equals creative communication. And it's really important that even internally, as we serve the public, We have to make sure that we're breaking down these barriers and working together so that we understand how each piece of the cog works to continue serving the people that we serve. So great job, everyone. If there's anyone I missed, I'm so sorry, but I think I got everybody. But I'd love to meet with any of you if I haven't.
Marcia,
That's all
thank
I've
you
got,
very
Gary.
much. I'm sorry?
That's all I've got, Gary.
All right, Marcia, thank you very much. Thank you for the kickoff, those wonderful comments. Very much appreciate that.
Awesome. You guys take care.
All right. So folks, we're still in the question and answer and comment stage. I'm going to read one coming in from an email I received from Corey Niemeyer. Corey Niemeyer is the Director of Operational Excellence at the Colorado Department of Public Service. By the way, interns, he was in your shoes back in 2016 doing a CDOT intern report out. Corey's comments are for the OPI intern team, Office of Process Improvement. Congratulations on a great report. Looking forward to the change for the good that you bring throughout your careers. Keep up the fantastic work. So Corey, thank you for that. Jamie, I think you've got a comment coming in from live stream. Could you unmute?
All right. Yes, Gary, can you hear me okay?
Sure can.
All right. Having some technical difficulties today. All right. So we got a comment from Jordan Rudell on behalf of Whitney Roberts. He is the unit manager for Region 1 Planning and PMO, who's part of the team that hired Whitney Roberts to join his group this year through the internship program and to assist the Historic Resources team to support environmental project oversight. Whitney has been a breath of fresh air coming into our group this year with a constant smile and a positive attitude, consistently exemplifying all of our CDOT core values every day she shows up. She has remained hungry to learn and has a flexible style that leaves everybody wanting to do business with her. Due to her soft skills and technical attributes, she has been given opportunities to work on some of our largest and most significant current history projects occurring in Region 1. Whitney's quick learning of Section 106 history compliance and her assistance in this area to evaluate and clear projects has really assisted our team in workload management, and we can't be more thrilled to have her as an intern this year.
Jordan, thank you for your comments, and Whitney, of course. That is a terrific, confirmation of your many contributions. Thank you, Whitney. We often have members of the Transportation Commission joining us, and Vice Chair Adams of the Transportation Commission, Eula Adams, often joins us, could not today, but does send this on to all of the interns. Thank you, interns, for all of your hard work. He's been a great supporter over many years of interns and intern report outs. We thank Vice Chair Adams for his comments. All right, we're still in the question and answer stage. For those of you on Zoom, please feel free to unmute. Commissioner Cook, I see your hand up. If you could unmute, please.
Yes, thank you. And I wanted to piggyback on Vice Chair Adams's comments. This is my first time able to see the presentation, and I've learned a ton. Really interesting to hear all the things that you all are doing at CDOT, the efforts you're making, the initiatives and so forth. But I got to tell you, I was really glad to hear that you find it beneficial as well, because it's clear to me that the work you do, the things that you're doing to make CDOT better, to do things in the community that helps our communities, is incredibly valuable. So glad that it's worthwhile to you, and thank you very much for what you've done.
Commissioner, thank you for your kind thoughts, and thank you for joining us today. I know that things are busy everywhere, and your choice to join us today shows how important you think this is. So thank you very much.
Super interesting. Thank you.
All right. Are there more questions from folks here, or comments from anybody here on Zoom? Or Jamie, I'll turn over to you. Are there any other questions coming in from live stream?
I believe that is all the comments and questions that we have for now.
All right. Anything else from here on Zoom? Anybody want to unmute, ask questions, make comments? I will be like the auctioneer, going. All right, sold. Jennifer, if you could move to the next slide, please. Intern report outs at CDOT are a longstanding tradition. Thank you to the 10 folks today that are adding to that tradition. When we update the slide for next time, we will say that 213 people as interns and fellows have reported out over the past 12 years. Yes, 12 years. Our very first intern report out, it was 11 years ago, and by the time our next intern report out in February happens, 12 years of intern report outs. Thank you for your many contributions to CDOT. Thank you for your many contributions to the citizens of Colorado and everybody that makes our transportation system great. And thank you for your very kind report outs today. Our next intern fellow report out is on Thursday, February 13th, approximately the same time. And it will mark the first one in the 12th year of intern report outs at CDOT. This is National Intern Day, just as the National Intern Day folks say, we heart our interns. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Jennifer, next. And one more time. So I hope today for everybody listening in, we've answered this question, why does CDOT employ interns and fellows? Adding to the great comments from Helen Hayes, the expert at anything was once a beginner. You've heard from beginners who are making wonderful contributions here. They are going to be the experts of the future, ensuring that we have a terrific, sustainable, wonderful transportation system here in Colorado in the future. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Interns, thank you everybody that was participating today. Jennifer, next. Thank you everyone who made today's intern report out terrific. All the interns, of course, the mentors that are doing terrific work with our interns, and everybody that participated today. We look forward to talking with you again in February 2025. Be expecting that meeting invitation and seeing things on social media like LinkedIn about that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Jennifer, if you could stop the recording, that'd be great. All right, folks, how'd that feel? It felt good? All right, you're great. Some of you are finishing up your internship soon, and some of you are staying on as interns. You heard from Marcia. She talked about just about all of you, invited all of you to talk with her about one thing or the other. Please check her up on that.